Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another ZaffaVLOG, brought to you through the power of YouTube and the internet and all that. Let me just close that one window. So, let me tell you something. And this is going to be a Dear South Africa thing, right? Dear South Africa, I am glad that Mandela died. That Madiba died. I am really, really glad that he died. Peacefully, a couple of years ago. Because if he were to be alive today, he would have surely died of a broken heart. He would have probably committed suicide because of what's happening in South Africa at the moment. Now, I don't know if it's the media coverage we receive on this side of the world, but the xenophobic attacks are crazy in South Africa. And it's really crazy. There's videos out now at the moment of people getting burned alive. People getting burned alive and being necklaced. Now, if you don't know what necklaced is tire around their neck or body, and inside the tire there's petrol, and they light that on fire. So I'm just like, it's a horrible way to go. I've seen one of these videos and I'm utterly, utterly disgusted for the way those South Africans are handling or are how they are interacting with their fellow Africans. They're from the freaking same continent. The xenophobic attacks at the moment is happening to people, any black immigrant from outside of South Africa, right? And this scares me. This scares me. I don't want to go back to South Africa because of this. Because I'll be labeled as one of them. One of the xenophobes. And it is crazy. I mean, how barbaric should you be to be able to do that to another human being? And in those videos that I saw, everybody was like happy and clapping hands and screaming, and they're being jubilant because these people are dying. In one instance, a kid got killed, got burned alive, a kid. And I'm speaking under correction here, but it's like a 12-year-old kid or something. Now, if you're in South Korea and you're teaching elementary, imagine that one of your grade 6s are burnt alive, right? Just because they're not from the country. You know? And it's crazy, and it's not... The thing is, I really want something to be done about this, right? And Zuma will be damned if he does anything about this. Zuma is South Africa's president at the moment. And President Obama can't do anything because he's black and he's not from South Africa. They'll probably attack him when he lands on South African soil. And I wish I was kidding, but that's entirely possible. Right? Because he's black and he's not from South Africa. Take that piece. Just let that settle in for a while, right? And they're attacking foreign shop owners, people creating jobs, people supporting the economy of South Africa, right? Immigrants who sought safe haven in South Africa, and this is how they are repaid. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, let's take a step back. Let's say the xenophobic attack starts. Let's say The xenophobic attack started with black South Africans killing black Africans, right? The only logical step from there on in is the black Africans turning on black South Africans, turning on black South African business owners because they make money, they have jobs. We can take it a step further. They might even start attacking the white business owners. If South Africa's Africans are anything to go by, the rest of Africa will probably start attacking South Africans in their countries. There's been a couple of planes already sent out for other South Africans to come back to South Africa because they fear for their lives, right? Other South Africans in Africa. So I'm really, really afraid to go back to South Africa. I live in constant fear here in South Korea that my parents won't, that something might happen to my parents, my friends, my family, you know. I live in constant fear that that might happen because it's a reality in South Africa. And I don't know how many people this video will reach, but I hope it reaches someone that someone that can probably do something about this. If it doesn't, then South Africa doesn't matter to the rest of the world, sadly. If it does, I'm happy. If this somehow changes anything somewhere along the line, I will be really happy. And right now, I reiterate what I said earlier. I'm glad Mandela died when he did. Peacefully. Not of a broken heart. This South Africa is no longer, hasn't been the South Africa he worked and struggled for about 10 years now already. So I'm just glad he went when he did. And like I said, maybe it's exaggerated by the foreign media. I don't know. But it freaks me the hell out. South Africa, get your crap together. Oh, and here's another thing. Here's another thing before I end this video. Apparently, no one will help as long as the attacks happen within the same ethnic group. Or the same racial group, at least. The same racial group. So no one will jump up and try and stop these things because it's black people killing black people. Okay? So when will they start jumping in to help to stop the boiling pot, the ticking time bomb that is South Africa at this current point in time? I don't know. I'm really stressed out about South Africa. I cried a couple of times for the people who lost their lives in such a pointless and barbaric manner. And I really want my country to be the country that it can be. That we all know as South Africans in our hearts, the country can be a brilliant frickin' country. But at this moment in time, none of us is working together. None of us is working together. None of us is taking a stand against these things. If they are, I don't know about it. But I believe in a good South Africa, in a brilliant South Africa. I believe that South Africa could be amazing if we just tried. If you have any comments below, leave it in the section below. And I don't want to make this video too long. This is probably going to be just above 10 minutes. But I mean, the ZaffaVLOG was about my real life stuff, and this is affecting me. I'm sitting here thinking about what can happen to the economy. I'm thinking what can happen to South Africa. I'm really shocked, right? And I have to distinguish by race. I have to distinguish by race, because it's black people killing black people. Right? We're all from Africa. Right? And let's put it in this way of like, black people killing black people. You're all from Africa. From Africa. Right? You're all from Africa. And you're doing this. Why? Because he stole your jobs? Well then, start working. Try and find jobs. Start low on the scale. Start as a handyman somewhere. Work your way up to eventually own your own business, fellow South Africans. And be competition for those people that's taking your jobs. Right? That's how you'll stop this. That's one way of stopping this. I'm all for sanctions against South Africa. If this escalates and they say there's sanctions against South Africa, I'm all for it. Even if it means I have to go back to that forsaken country. Right? Even if it means I have to go back to that country. I'm all for these sanctions if there are any, if any sanctions will be imposed on South Africa. It'll probably not happen because they don't kill outside their own race group. And if they do, then they'll probably use the excuse of, oh no, it's the same ethnicity. They're from South Africa. Let's leave them. If South Africa destroys itself, it's ripe for the taking for America. Is that the plan? I don't know. But please, someone out there, listen to this random South African in South Korea. Listen to his plight. Take a look at South Africa. See what we can do. All the South Africans outside of South Africa, we can do something. And when I say we can do something, I don't mean post frickin' racist crap on Facebook about white farmers getting murdered every day. That's a reality. That's a normal part of South African life at the moment, right? That doesn't help the cause. Start something. I don't know what we can do to make the country a better place. If you've got any tips or ideas, leave it in the comment section below. And I'm going to stop the recording there because I'm just getting more and more depressed thinking about this. And the thing is, I wanted to write everything down and talk about it, but it would seem too robotic. So, yeah, that's basically it. And South Africa, please. Please, South Africa. Sort your stuff out, man. I love you, South Africa. And until next time, you should have a good one.